Valentine's Day is almost here, y'all, and I came up with 3 treats that won't throw you off track. They are so tasty, but they're also high in protein and low in sugar. I hope y'all enjoy. The first recipe we will be making are strawberry cheesecake protein balls. You will need some cream cheese, your favorite cream cheese brand, because the cream cheese is important. It has a lot of flavor. The pure vanilla extract. You'll need some maple syrup. You can use any sweetener of your choice. Some protein powders have a lot of sugar in them already, so you don't need to add extra if you don't want to. Coconut flakes, this is totally optional. It adds a nice texture at the end. And your favorite vanilla protein powder, this is what I like to use, and make sure it is vanilla and not any other flavor. And then you will need some freeze-dried sliced strawberry. If you can find it organic, that'd be better, but this is all I could find in the time frame that I needed it. And then all you'll do is combine your cream cheese. Make sure it's softened cream cheese. If it's too hard, it's going to be too hard to mix everything together. So you need some softened cream cheese and then a splash of your favorite vanilla extract. About 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Again, y'all know I like to eyeball, but it's really to your taste and it depends on how sweet your protein powder is. So I used about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Combine that and then the serving size for 1 protein shake of protein powder. So for my protein powder, it's about 2 scoops of protein powder. So that's how much I use for these protein balls. If your protein powder recommends 1 scoop per serving, that's how much you would add, but it's based on your protein powder and the serving for that brand, if that makes sense. So right now my cream cheese was a bit too hard, so I did pop this in the microwave for about not even a full 30 seconds. I think it was about 15 seconds. You don't want it to melt completely, you just want it to be nice and softened enough for it to combine well. And then I had to pop open this can of strawberries. Y'all, this took me way too long to do. I had to end up doing it off camera. This is a company that creates freeze-dried foods for long-term food storage. So this was really airtight. It was hard to crack open, but I did eventually get it open. All right, I then portioned out about 1.5 cups of strawberries and I pounded it until it was nice and fine. If you have any anger this Valentine's Day season, this is your time. This is your moment. Let all your anger out by smashing up these strawberries into nice fine pieces. I was just thinking, if you're not really trying to be healthy this Valentine's Day season, Oreos would be so good in this, like a Oreo cheesecake bite. That sounds so delicious. They also have gluten-free Oreos out there if you're interested. But yeah, just a nice twist on this recipe. You can definitely use Oreos or any other cookie that you like. Alright, this is when I went and softened the cream cheese a bit just to get it to a nice consistency so it would be easier to fold in these strawberries. So as I mentioned earlier, I did smash about 1.5 cups of strawberries, but I poured about a cup's worth of strawberries into this mixture because you need the rest to, for later on in the recipe, to coat the actual balls. So I just used 1 cup in the actual mixture. This is your chance to actually taste the mixture to see if it's missing anything. I went ahead and I tasted it and I found that it needed a little bit more sweetness because my protein powder wasn't as sweet as I thought it would be, and then it also needed a bit more strawberries. So make sure you use a protein powder that you actually like because this is a protein cheesecake bite, and if it's a nasty protein powder, it's going to taste just like the protein powder. So make sure you get one. Make sure you use one that you actually like. Now's the time where everything comes together. First of all, you want to make sure your hands are nice and clean. And then secondly, you want to make sure you use a good measurement device, so I'm just using this regular spoon to measure it out, but it's not that effective. Honestly, if you have a cookie scoop, that would be better because you'll get precise sizes. So yeah, don't do what I did. Actually use a protein ball. Actually use a ice cream scoop or something of that sort. Another thing that I didn't mention is that I did pop this in the fridge for about 15 minutes before doing this, just because I did have to go and microwave the cream cheese mixture earlier, as I mentioned. So I put them back in the fridge so it's nice and solid before doing this. If it's too soft, like at this point it was getting kind of soft, so it was leaving some residue on my hand. So you want to make sure it's nice and firm before doing this step. I then took the remaining of the freeze-dried strawberries, added it to a separate bowl alongside with some coconut flakes. Again, the coconut flakes are optional. You don't have to use this, but if you do like some texture, this is a great way to add it. Alright, so that's it for this recipe. Once everything was nice and coated, I did pop these into the refrigerator for at least an hour. I prefer these nice and chilled and cold. When they're room temperature, I don't prefer them. So yeah, I definitely would put these in the fridge for at least an hour before serving them. Next, we have a classic chocolate covered strawberries. First, I'm taking some dark chocolate chips and about a tablespoon of coconut oil and placing it in the microwave for 30-second intervals until it's nice and melted. A way to make these healthier is to use a high quality chocolate with a high cocoa percentage, so mostly like dark chocolates, with less sugar. That way, it's a bit healthier, but it's still a tasty and satisfying Valentine's Day treat. So the chocolate took about a minute to fully melt, and once it was fully melted, I decided to use a bamboo skewer to dip the strawberries into the chocolate. I've tried using my hands before and it's just way too messy, so I prefer this method of using a bamboo stick to dip the strawberry into the chocolate. Using the coconut oil helps the chocolate solidify quicker in the fridge. So that's why I did add the coconut oil, and it also helps it melt and give it a nice shiny glow. There's so many variations of chocolate covered strawberries that you could do. You could use white chocolate, you could do a mixture and do like a zebra pattern on the chocolate. You can use some of the coconut flakes from the previous recipe and dust it on top. There's so many things you can do. Oh, salted covered chocolate also. Add some flaky salt on top. Whatever you like, whatever your partner likes. This is your Valentine's Day. Make it as special and as sweet as you'd like. Last year, my husband decided to surprise me with chocolate covered strawberries from Whole Foods. And I told him to never do that again because one, the strawberries weren't fresh at all. And then also, they were just way too expensive. I'm sure it cost them over $20 for, I think it came with 6 strawberries, which is ridiculous. Organic strawberries cost about $7 now. Chocolate costs about $2-3. So, and you have so many more than what you would buy at the store. The next treat are my homemade high protein Reese's candy bars. I did make this recipe before on one of my Sabbath Clean With Me's. I'll link that video down below, and also I'll leave it up here. But I also put the recipe down in the description box. It's super simple. You use some fresh, like organic peanut butter with no sugar in it, and then you add some maple syrup and some almond flour. And then you just put it into your mold and let it go into the freezer until it's nice and solidified. And then you use the leftover chocolate from the chocolate covered strawberries, so that chocolate and coconut oil, and you drizzle it right on top. The mixture, the peanut butter to almond flour and maple syrup ratio is totally up to you. It depends on how chewy you want the bar to be and how sweet you want the bar to be. But I will leave it down below the recipe that I use for these Reese's cups. Thank y'all so much for watching today's video. I hope you guys really enjoyed these recipes, whether you're making them for yourself, for your boo, or for Valentine's Day, whatever it may be. Let me know down below which recipe you liked, if you made any adjustments, whatever it may be. Comment down below, y'all. Love y'all. Bye.